Hey guys, how we doing? Back on another video from Geekdom 101, and today we are checking out the secret power of the Supreme Kai, a very strange character who comes across as quite important, but doesn't really seem to do much. But then again, Geekdom's probably going to show us now some feats that we kind of like don't really appreciate or things like that. I always start talking about these things and then watch the video and I'm like, God, I'm so dumb. Well, anyway, let's check this out. I think the interesting thing about these as well is that they're linked with the gods of destruction, aren't they? So if one dies, the other dies. Hence how Goku Black did the whole thing with the universes, isn't it? I'm right about that, aren't I? Right, okay, let's just do this.
The Supreme Kai, the Kaioshin,
Cool
are the
design.
celestial creators of the Dragon Ball world. The literal gods of creation. You would think they would be extremely powerful, possibly equal to that of the gods of destruction.
They're
but
not
the
as
answer
strong
is,
as them.
most of them really aren't, especially the Supreme Kai that we first meet in the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z. So how strong is the Supreme Kai?
How strong
when you examine
is he?
the way that he is portrayed by Toriyama in the manga and in the anime, of course, by Toei, he doesn't really seem that impressive.
Right, here we
but
go.
there are strange abilities
Here
that
we
he can
go.
do. There are certain things that he states that make him a bit stronger than you may remember. So on this video, we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive and quickly figure out how strong the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 actually is. So the actual strength of the Supreme Kai has been a topic of debate for quite some time because we're not really given a clear indication in the series as to how strong he is. Now for this video, I'm going to talk specifically about the Supreme Kai that survived Majin Buu, not the Grand Supreme Kai or the other ones, and not the fusion between him and Kibito.
Ooh.
We're talking about specifically just Supreme Kai by himself. When he first shows up in Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo is spooked. Now obviously, Piccolo being spooked to me has always been more so the fact that Kami was inside of him, and if you remember, Kami was the god of Earth, and he had knowledge of the celestial being. He knows being the god of Earth.
So he's sharing those memories. He's going,
he has familiarity with the god hierarchy
what's
because
going
he's the one
on?
who told Goku and informed him of King Yama and Kaio-sama and all these characters from the other world. So it's more so the fact that Piccolo / Kami, the Super Namekian, were shocked that Supreme Kai would be on Earth. Now, in Dragon Ball Z, Supreme Kai straight up says that he's more powerful than Frieza and could have gotten rid of him. So when you're scaling this guy, he has to be at the bare minimum Android Saga level.
Right.
But the reality is he's stronger than that. Now, obviously, the question will come to mind as to why the Supreme Kai never got involved in the fight with Frieza.
Well, they're not allowed to, are they?
That can mostly be chalked up to the fact that the gods don't get involved in mortal matters unless it actually affects them, so to speak. And I don't think Frieza was really affecting him, but we found out in Dragon Ball Super that he's not very good at his job, which is why the rankings of the universes for Tournament of Power were so low.
Terrible.
Nor is he that powerful.
Or the Beerus just sleeping.
In Dragon Ball Z. We have him being utterly in awe and in shock as to how strong Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta have become. But strangely enough, they're still able to suppress or at least hold down Super Saiyan 2 Gohan while Babidi's minions were able to take his power. Of course, this is all part of the plan to find out where Babidi's hiding.
So he can seal to a certain level.
Tell you that these guys aren't weak. However, I don't believe that has anything to do with actual power.
Power level,
the thing about the Supreme Kai you have to remember is that he's sort of like the polar opposite, the antithesis of Babidi. Whereas with Babidi, you have a character that is not physically strong, but he has strange,
weird magic stuff,
abilities that regular mortals just can't do. And the same thing goes with Supreme Kai. The reason he was able to hold down Gohan like that is not because he's stronger than him.
He's got mystical abilities.
That he has weird celestial abilities.
Is it like
that regular
Moro
mortals just don't have?
kind of
sort
thing?
Like hacks. But yet, later on in the very same arc, in fact, very shortly after, we have a scene where Goku is straight up threatening to kill the Supreme Kai if he doesn't get out of the way and allow him to fight Majin Vegeta. Goku's got his hand out, and he's straight up telling this guy, I will kill you. And Supreme Kai backs down.
Of course.
Obviously, if Supreme Kai was stronger than Goku, there would be no
there'd be no confrontation, there'd be no issue. He'd just be like, bam, down away.
Super Saiyan 2 when he did this to Supreme Kai. He did not transform into that power until they went back to the battlefield and both he and Vegeta powered up and unleashed their new, well, maybe not new, but their upgrades, I guess you could say, in power.
The little boost.
They had that great epic fight. Now, the Supreme Kai during this whole thing, this whole time, is just portrayed as being this. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's kind of a wuss, really, when you think about
What's
it.
going on? I can't
because
interfere.
he just ends up getting humiliated during the initial fight with Boo, and as a guy who's supposed to be a god of creation, he's supposed to be Beerus's opposite in a way. It's kind of funny that he's just this weak. But of course, in Dragon Ball Super, the reason why the gods of destruction are stronger than the Supreme Kais, the gods of creation, is because you have to be stronger to destroy than to create. Now, that being said, don't forget that Beerus was also trained by Whis, and there's no indication at all in the series that Whis trained Supreme Kai. And if he did, he'd probably be a heck of a lot stronger. So how strong is
So the angels don't interfere with the gods of creation.
1 Goku level from the Buu saga, and we know he's not Super Saiyan 2 level at all. We know that. And this is Dragon Ball
like
Z
Super
scaling,
Saiyan
not Dragon Ball
1.
Super scaling. And we know he's definitely
To beat
stronger than
Frieza,
Frieza.
so he's like in between.
The only way to get a clear answer, we have to go to the guidebooks. Now, unfortunately, the Japanese guidebooks don't provide a lot of data on this, but there is a Spanish guidebook called La Manga Legendaria, which straight up tells us how strong he is. Well, not straight up tells us, but it definitely speculates strongly that the Supreme Kai is equal to full power Goku during the Cell game. In other words, the Goku that fought Cell for that time in the Cell game, that's how strong the Supreme Kai is according to that La Manga Legendaria. Now, understand something. When it comes to guidebooks, you can't always take them at face value because a lot of times guidebooks contradict the series and are retconned later on. Plus, in addition to that, you have to remember that this is not only a guidebook, it's one that was not released by Shueisha in
it's not
Japan.
official.
Shueisha had nothing to do with this, with Toriyama. It's something that came out in Latin America, and even though the Latin Americans have connections with Shueisha, we don't really know how much participation Toei and Shueisha had with this release, and we definitely don't know what Toriyama's involvement was because we don't even know what his involvement truly is with the other guidebooks that Senshus and Chosenshus. It's pretty much been perceived by me and a lot of other Dragon Ball historians that Toriyama doesn't really get involved in this as much as people think he does. He'll make a couple of statements here and there and help out, but he's not writing these things from scratch, so there are creative liberties taken. But to me, that somewhat makes sense because it would explain as to why Piccolo would be kind of awestruck by him. But at the same time, you have to also remember that even though full power Goku from the Cell games is stronger than Super Namekian Piccolo, Super Namekian Piccolo in the Buu saga is stronger than he was in the Android saga or the Cell saga. He is a lot more
in
powerful.
strength,
So
it does seem to be like he just knows who he is and he's spooked by why is he here.
So the Kami inside of him, like I said earlier in the video.
Not like he's gonna beat me.
That's what La Manga Legendaria says. Supreme Kai is Goku full power level, which again, it makes sense because that Goku could not touch Majin Buu. Obviously, Goku in the Buu saga is astronomically more powerful, even without Super Saiyan 3. Even his base form is beastly in the Buu saga, so Supreme Kai just can't hack it with them anymore. So let me know what you think in the comments. Does the La Manga Legendaria, scale make sense to you, or do you think he's stronger or weaker? Let me know, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, check out these as well, and I hope you have a great one.
That was good. I like that. So he scales to Goku at the end of Cell Saga then, which is pretty okay. Yeah, it's alright. It's just a shame, isn't it? Because he's like got such a title of I'm the God of Creation, and then it's like, okay, but you're bad at your job. And then Beerus doesn't help by just sleeping all the time, so it's like, come on guys, do something here. That was more interesting than I thought. But at the same time, I'm intrigued how he didn't like mention the fact that Moro does like magical stuff as well, because like he did the mystical stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna have to go. Thank you guys for watching. Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you're watching videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.